Hey, what's up guys? This is Tryptophan. In this guide we're going to cover some basic survivor tips. Our first tip is going to be to zoom out. If you can't see a giant tentacle monster that's 10 feet away from you, you're too far zoomed in and you're not going to be able to see anything. You're going to have no map awareness. Zooming out will improve your gameplay a lot. Alright, our next tip is going to be rapid fire. Rapid fire allows you to do things like this where you can just start warping in really fast. It's also very helpful for Ascendant and for Zagara's creep spreading. Ascendant can do things like this. To access rapid fire, go to options, F10 to options, hotkeys, global, unit management, scroll down till you see choose ability or AI target. I have it as C because that's the same keybind as creep spread for Zagara, so I can just select a ton of tumors and then hold down C and just wave my mouse as fast as I can. Next, let's talk about colors on the minimap. Because Kerrigan Survival 2 has 10 people, you're going to have 7 allies all with different colors. You're going to have a different color, and the enemies are going to have 2 different colors. That's 10 different colors. It's very hard to track everything. It's a lot easier if you go to options, colors, and change your settings to something like this. So I have everything on the minimap that's in green is mine. If it's in allies, it's in a light gray purple color, and if it's a hostile, it's in pink. This means that if I see a pink square like this, you can see it on the minimap, that pink square, that means that's a Zerg hero if I'm playing Survivor, and I instantly know where Zagara or Kerrigan is just by looking at the minimap. It makes it a lot easier. Next, let's talk about economy. At the start of the game, you're going to have your generators over here, and then a decoy wall out in front, most of the time. There's other ways to do it. Here's another example. You can have a low ground outpost. It's important not to have a building in the corner though on low grounds, because as lanes run around this corner, they can see buildings that are touching that corner spot right there. So you never want to have anything in that corner. Another example is this high ground one.
Bad news.
If a random lane does find this, you have the SCV repairing, which means you do have time to salvage, which is always nice, and the flashlight is there to spot if the Kerrigan hero is there. One trick you can do is if you see that the Zerg hero is over here and your economy is on the exact opposite side of the map, you can create 3 Reapers or so right here. So if a massive lane does come over here, the Reapers will kill them before the lanes kill your eco. And if the lanes do go all the way over here, the Reapers can just run to the high ground and just kill everything in the low ground. And basically this means that the Zerg hero has to come here to kill your economy. Downsides to this though are that it makes your eco a lot more obvious, because every time they see a repain over here, they'll probably have eco here. And also, it doesn't protect you from roaches or hydras on the low ground with a scan to attack your eco. Later in the game you can have a eco spot that looks like this. This would be a mini base where you have a lot of generators in an unconventional spot protected by units protecting it. This only really works though when your team has like 30 plus outposts and there's 20 red panes every single second for the Zerg, and they kind of just start ignoring them. Next, let's talk about outposts. This is a very common outpost that consists of a ghost to attack the lanes, and vision from the flashlight. As Zerglings come around this corner, they'll be killed by the ghost. This is another common example. This allows all the Zerglings coming around here to be killed, and the second flashlight is here because if a massive Zerglings does come here, the Zerglings will ignore the flashlight because there's an attacking unit nearby, which means they will all funnel into this choke and be killed, or at least a lot of them will be killed. Next, let's look at an Artanis outpost. Because Artanis does not have vision outside of Mothership cores, which you can use to have something similar to this.
You sure about that?
You can have them ramp block, so as lanes come up this ramp, they'll be killed. Another example is you can have buildings in the middle here to make a choke point for Zerglings, so that only one Zergling can attack from every side at all times. They'll ignore the pylon and gateway because there's attacking units nearby. This is an example of an Ascendant outpost. It consists of 1 pylon plus 4 cannons. This will kill all Zerglings that get nearby it. You can also have it on the high ground because they have about, 3 vision. So as Zerglings come around this corner, they'll be killed and get one shot. This is an example of what not to do. This is what a lot of new players do. They have a ton of cannons here. The Zerg hero sees this, and all they do is they just A-move with their Kerrigan hero over here, and they kill everything. And they get a ton of feed, and you're not going to kill anything. And then because you didn't eco much, because you create all these cannons, you don't have much to salvage, you're basically starting off from square one the moment they kill this. This is an example of what not to do. As you can see with these other outposts, they consist of the bare minimum of what you need to kill a Zergling and nothing more. That is because if the Zerg hero sees this, they're going to kill it instantly, because this is a ton of feed, and you're just wasting a ton of money just to feed the Zerg without getting anything in return. Last but not least, let's talk about what to do in the early game, mid game, and late game.
No.
So in the early game, at the very start of the game, you're always going to want to create a generator, unless you're Artanians where you physically can't. If this means you have to use turrets as Nomad, then that's what you have to do to get your first 5 yes. Because if you do not have any economy, and you try and warp in Marines right here, like this, before your first generator, that's going to lay you by 20 seconds. That 40 minutes right there. That is not something you want to do. For that reason, that's why you want to always focus on economy. Just create some generators and some flashlights, and then once you have about 2 to 9 generators,
I just had an
you can
idea.
start creating your first outpost.
What is it
Use
you
this
need?
outpost just for gas, so you can
A
chrono.
curious proposal.
Every time you get chrono on something, you're going to want to only upgrade that one until you can get chrono on something else, and upgrade that one as well. At the start of the game, you're going to want to only have about 1 to 2 outposts until like minute 7 maybe,
Ready to
and
proceed.
4 outposts
Yes?
by minute 10.
Are
That's
you
because
certain?
this outpost, which costs
sure
like
about that?
130 minerals or so, is a lot of money in the early game. But once your economy looks something like this, you know, 100 minerals is nothing. So just make as many as you can, because that will distract the Zerg from finding your real economy. And even if your real economy is found, then you can remake it because you have the spare Vespian gas
Give me
to
the
chrono
sit
everything.
rep.
From the 10 to 18 minute mark or so, you're going to want to always be making outposts,
Out with it.
killing patrols that the Zerg might have, or stopping creep, because a lot of Zerg players, they'll try and creep all the way out to the right, all the way to the left, all the way to the top, and all the way to the bottom, creating a quadrants, 4 quadrants on the map. And it's a lot easier to die when there's 4 quadrants on the map, because you can't, your allies can't help you, the Zerg hero can trap you a lot easier. And finally, before the game ends, you're going to want to create an army. That was the whole point of everything you've done beforehand. So, generally, upgrades without an army are useless, and army without upgrades is useless as well. So you're going to want to get about 2-2, and then you're going to want to max out. Maybe make something better against Zerglings, because that's where they're going to have 18 minutes into the game.
Science department responding.
Then you're either going to want to attack Zerg with this. You can attack Zagara in the economy in the middle, or you can attack the Zerg Hunter and try and win outright. But if you do attack a Kerrigan in Storm, which might make it a lot harder.
Let's get
Or
this
you
over
can use
with.
this army to base,
Oh,
in which case
I
you
just
can move
had an
all your
idea.
economy to the base with everyone else, while keeping a supply of about 200 with 2 until you can make infinite army of
what is
3-3.
it you need?
That's the goal.
A curious proposal. Ready to.
Since upgrades are 5 times effective in this game, if you see that you're 2-2 at 18 minute mark, and the Zerg is still 1-1, if you attack them, they're going to do no damage to you, and you're going to kill everything, and you're going to do a ton of damage, and you can just outright win the game right there. Anyways, I hope you learned something, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Just kidding, I'm not making anyone like this. Oh god, I messed up.